everyone, my name is Jen, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of yet another reading vlog, yet another weekend. Here we are. Hi, hello. Today, what is it? Oh, it is already 8 o'clock on Friday evening. Hello. It's a normal Friday for me. Went grocery shopping, did all that jazziness. It is too hot outside. I feel sweaty and gross today. We're thriving, but this weekend I don't have a whole lot going on. I'm just gonna hang out. I am going to the bookstore on Sunday morning for a wee coffee date, which is fun. But other than that, absolutely nothing going on. So what am I gonna be reading this weekend? Great question. I'm gonna be trying to carve my way through my friends pick my TBR because it is already July 15th, halfway through the month, and I'm behind on that TBR. So today I ended up picking up Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolf because I have the audiobook on Scribd and I've been listening to it and just like, it's not good. I'm not really enjoying it. It's the kind of YA fantasy that I probably would have loved as a kid or as like a, you know, a teenager, but it's just predictable. And from word go when we had this set up, I guessed all of the twists we've had so far right then. I was like, oh, this is probably gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And like, I understand that these kind of books aren't marketed for like adults, right? They're marketed for teenagers, and I see that, but there's also inconsistencies in this that are bothering me, but you'll have to hear my full thoughts about it when that video goes live. But yeah, I'm nearly done because I'm not really even paying attention. I have the audiobook in my ear and I'm watching videos at the same time because it's that boring. I'm not having a good time with it, but I don't want to DNF another book for that video because I've already DNF'd one. Anyways, what else am I going to be reading? I do plan on carving my way through this stack of books, which includes a library book that I started and then 2 books for this video as well. But the library book that I started was When We Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. And I am so intrigued by this book that I think I might pick it up from the bookstore on Sunday because I want to annotate it. I'm 100 pages in and I'm already like, there's so many instances where I want to annotate this. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully I can find it at the bookstore. I'm gonna pick it up and then I'm going to go back through those 100 pages and reread it. So I might not focus on this weekend because, as I said, I want to focus on getting the TBR for this video done. Speaking of other library books, I ended up picking up For the Wolf by Hannah Witten again. My hold came back through because last time when I didn't get around to it, I just put a new hold on it. And I have the audiobook for this now, so I might zoom through this at some point this weekend. And I also have my other library books. I have Redemptor and Beasts of Prey, both of them YA fantasy books by authors of color, which I would love to get to as well because I've noticed my reading recently has been very, very white. And because this month I've been doing a like my friends pick my TBR and it's like in my friends' hands, only one of the books on that TBR is by an author of color. So I've been trying to balance that somehow. I've been trying to balance it because I've been reading too many white books. Too many books by white people. So that's kind of my plan. But other than that, the 2 books that I would love to get to this weekend unfortunately don't have any audiobooks that I have access to, and they are the second book of the Books of Beginning and Truth Witch. So I'm planning on doing a lot of reading this weekend, as always. Tomorrow I will probably have a live stream again, get some writing done with Project Dragon. All good things. All good things. But yeah, not a whole lot going on, as I said. So I will chat with you guys a little later. Hello friends, it is now a little later. I sped read the last of that book. It is a 2-star book, barely. Life is too short for bad books. My friend and I were just talking about it because I was ranting to her on our like group chat, and she was like, you should do a video where you talk about like DNFing, and there was a couple other things and what it is about a book that makes you DNF it. And I would have DNF'd this book really early on if I hadn't gotten it in my head that I didn't want to DNF more than 1 book in this video. Stupid rule. It was a stupid rule. It's fine. But yeah, it's always interesting to see like what the classifications people will put on books. A lot of the times I will tell myself that if the writing isn't vibing with me, I will wait until page 100 to really see, because sometimes it takes me a second to like settle into a book. But if it's like the content and like just little things that keep piling on top of each other, then I will like DNF at like any point. But usually I make it to the 100-page mark. That's like kind of like my benchmark. Sometimes I push it to 150, but usually it's 100 pages. I have DNF'd a book after like 10 minutes though, so who knows? Anyways, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I think I'm just gonna hang out, watch some content for a bit, and then dive into something else. Because I want to read. I want to be reading right now, so who knows whether I will dive into something with an audiobook or with just my eyeballs, but we'll see. I love friends, happy Saturday. I'm here on my couch, not feeling too hot. The anxiety, she be rampant today. She be rampant. I actually canceled my live stream because I couldn't fathom sitting in front of a computer and pretending that I was like okay and writing for a couple hours because my brain was just like, nah, there's no way. So instead I've just been on my couch trying not to feel sick and feel all the anxiety. So I've been watching like YouTube, and right now I have a soundscape on and I've been trying to read a book. I'm reading the Books of Beginning, book number 2 for my friends pick my TBR video. So I'm currently doing that, but I think my attention is not gripping onto it because anxiety. So I think I might switch over to an audiobook. And the only audiobook that I have at the moment that I would read would probably be For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, but we'll see what I end up doing. I would like to finish this today, but I don't know if I can. It is middle grade though, so it's going very, very fast. Every time I look at the page count, I'm like, oh my god, I've read 20 pages, what? So, high anxiety day. We hate these. I can't even finish my coffee because like it's hurting my stomach. I tried to eat some fruit, hurting my stomach. We love it. We love being anxious. It's great. That's been my day today. I don't want to go outside because it's hot and gross, and that's what I'm gonna do. I think I might also play some Switch games later. I ended up picking up in one of their sales that they had recently, one of Nintendo's sales. I ended up picking up the Witcher game, the 3rd one, Wild Hunt, which is exciting. I haven't actually like sat down and had time to play it, so maybe that's what I'll do later. The audiobook for something or with a TV show on. I might pick up Ye Olde Boy today, play some Witcher or Skyrim or Animal Crossing. Those are like my 3 games that I have. Gonna see if I can get more of this done. Maybe start the audiobook for this because I only have like 8 days left before it goes back to my library, and I would like to read this with an audiobook even though I just got this. So maybe I can like burn through this in one sitting. That would be really fun. I love when I do that. I love when I can burn through a fantasy book in like 3 hours. It makes me feel like a god. Anyways, I just thought I'd update you and say hi. Sorry about the no live stream this weekend. I couldn't, like, I couldn't sit down and do a live stream. No. I don't feel well, and that's a side effect of the anxiety. So hopefully next weekend though, because I am gonna be here next weekend. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to like find out when my next live streams are going to be, because I always post them the day of, like hey, we're gonna go live. Usually Saturdays, usually in the afternoon, Central Standard Time. I'm gonna continue enjoying my soundscape currently, and I will chat with you guys later. Hello friends, it is now a fair bit later. It's midnight on the nose. Hi, hello. I'm just kind of cleaning up, ready to go to bed, ready to go sit in bed, probably watch one more episode of Blind Spot, because that's what I've been doing this evening, watching Blind Spot. But I did read a chunk of both of these books today, so I do apologize for the noise of the fans. That's probably a little better. So, Books of the Beginning, I got about halfway through, and then For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, I got to page 140 before I ended up, making dinner and watching TV. And I've just been watching Blind Spot ever since, because that's what my brain wants to do. So probably would have finished one of them today if I had just focused on one of them, but it's fine. Tomorrow in the evening, I am going to Mom and Dad's to hang out with Bella for a bit, because they're going out to a festival that we have nearby for like the evening, and they're like, we don't want to leave Bella alone for that long, because she's not used to being alone. She's got high separation anxiety. I'm gonna go hang out with her in the evening, so I'm gonna bring a book with me and hopefully wrap one up tomorrow. All good things, but figured I'd pop in and say hi. But yeah, For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, the audiobook is entertaining. I'm not super attached to the book yet, but c'est la vie, right? You're gonna read a lot of interesting fantasies going through life. That's kind of what's up. That's kind of what's happening. But yeah, I will probably chat to you guys tomorrow at some point in the afternoon, but until then, hello friends and happy Sunday. Hi, hello. I am in my place, just about to kind of gather my wits about me and go visit Bella. Hang out with her for a bit. But I wanted to pop in because of course it's like halfway through, with more than halfway through the day. It's 4 o'clock, so I thought I'd say hi. Today has been an interesting day. I went on my date today and it was fine. I didn't end up buying any books because the one book that I did want, I couldn't find. I wanted to pick up When Women Were Dragons. I couldn't find it in the store. And then as we were leaving, I saw it on a on a shelf, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay $37 for one right now. I'll wait and I'll get it on Indigo because at least I get a discount through Indigo. So that's what I did, got home and ordered it. But I also feel physically ill right now. I'm better now than I was when I was coming home. I think I ate something that really disagreed with me at the restaurant. So I've just been kind of low-key struggling all day, but that's all right. I'm gonna go hang out with Bella and just kind of chill for the rest of the evening. But I did finish the middle grade that I was reading yesterday, the Books of Beginning, and now I'm going to take For the Wolf with me, and I think I'm going to see if I can power through that. I have the inkling to read Redemptor, so I think I might also bring that with me. Yes, I know, I have way too many books on the go right now, but I'm in a reading mood, but I don't know what to read kind of mood. I have a library book started. It's When We Were Dragons, but I want to annotate that, so I'm going to put that one on hold until I get my copy so that I can annotate it. I do want to read Redemptor, so I might bring it with me and then just have those two library books with me. I've also decided that Kaikei and The Final Strife, because I'm reading them for a video, I'm going to kind of press pause on them for just a little bit until I can, you know, kind of get My Friends Pick My TBR books off of my currently reading or TBR, so that I can then focus on them in the beginning of August. I'll just push that video. That's fine. But I would rather get My Friends Pick My TBR books read first, and then I can, you know, dive into those and finish those up for that video. But that's kind of where today's at. I'm gonna gather my things and head to see Bella. Did you not hear me? Hello, sweet girl. Oh, you got a haircut. What, a little girl got a haircut? Hello. Hi. Oh, were you snoozing? Were you snoozing? Oh, hello, baby. Back home and I'm fighting off a headache, which is always fun. I don't know, this day has just been kicking me over and over and over and over and over again. But I did finish 2 books today. I wrapped up For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten, and honestly, I really liked this. Surprisingly more than I thought I was going to. I don't really know what it reminds me of. It's got that classic fairy tale vibe to it and what have you, but I'm very intrigued. The ending really picked it up for me. It really picked it up for me. So that's exciting and that's fun. Done this. Now, because of the headache, I think I'm just gonna like vaguely listen to some TV until my Advil kicks in. Today's been a day. What the hell? 2 books down and we're nearing the end of the weekend. I did take tomorrow off of work because I have 2 appointments that I have to go to that are like at different times of the day, and it's just, I didn't want to work around it, and I was like, so I'm just gonna get those 2 appointments and then nothing else tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be fun, but we shall see where the rest of tonight brings us. Hello friends and happy Monday. Hi, hello. I'm here. It is just about 3:30. Today has just gone so fast. Had my doctor's appointment this morning, met a new doctor. Then I had a dentist appointment, picked up Mickey D's afterwards because I was feeling sorry for myself. Because this weekend has just been a weird one. Physically for me, probably wasn't a good idea to get McDonald's today because as I was saying yesterday, my stomach was killing me, but alas, that's what I chose to do. So got myself some nuggies and some fries. But I'm feeling better today, thank God. And I'm in a better mood today, which is good. Yesterday was just such a weird day. But I wanted to pop in and kind of chat because I realized also how short this vlog was. And also the fact that I barely explained any of the books that I was reading. Mainly because 2 of them were for my Friends Pick My TBR video, but also just because I didn't explain them very well or at all. So I started off the weekend by reading Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolf, which is a young adult fantasy novel about a girl who is heartless. She has no heart. She's been bound to a witch who stole her heart, literally out of her chest. And so because of this, she's immortal and she's like a monster, and she needs to be like satiated with livers and kidneys and hearts, I think, or livers and hearts. That's what she always consumes. And if she eats regular human food, she gets like really, really sick afterwards and like cries blood. Interesting. But at the beginning of this, she's tasked with essentially integrating into court life to steal the prince's heart, literally, by stealing his heart, figuratively, by thus, you know, marrying him, or like having his hand in marriage and getting into a private situation with him where she could then take his heart. I was expecting it to be better. The world building was a little bit whack. There were creatures that were just never explained, and it felt very out of place. Like, it didn't feel like a high fantasy world where like you'd have like elves and dwarves and dragons and all this kind of stuff. It felt like a typical like medieval or Renaissance fantasy where you have like kingdoms and stuff like that, but then there's just these weird beasts and creatures that are there, and it's just, why? I don't know. The world building was whack. I didn't really get any setting from the place ever, and of course the main character was a whiny bitch. Just whiny and awful. Don't like her. And I wish this book had done more. Like, it wanted to be dark and gritty and angsty, but it wasn't. I wish it had leaned into the monstrosity of it. This would have been a much better book if our main character had actually leaned into her monstrosity, and if she was characterized better. Because if you don't have a heart, physically don't have a heart, most people would assume automatically that being physically heartless means you are heartless in the sense of the word heartless, right? Like cold and standoffish or even manipulative or whatever. I wish she had leaned the hell into that monstrosity part of her where she had no emotion, like she couldn't love, but she could have other emotions. Like, I wish there was something more with that whole idea. Also, there was inconsistencies in this because she didn't have a heart inside of her chest, but sometimes she said my heart skipped a beat, and I'm like, which heart? You don't have one, my girl. It was a little annoying, and she was very whiny, and it was just a lot of like, poor me, I am a monster, and everybody sees me that way, and if I ever tell anyone who I really am, they're all gonna hate me. And I'm like, get over yourself. Become the monster you're meant to be, because that would be badass. And I really wanted her to take the prince's heart in the end, because that would have been so cool. That would have saved it a full star, but it got 2 stars from me. And you will hear all of those same thoughts and more in my video when that goes up. My Friends Pick My TBR, probably going up the 2nd week of August. That's the plan. Then I finished The Fire Chronicle by John Stevens. This is the 2nd book in the Books of Beginning trilogy, which is a middle grade trilogy. I would say it's like urban high fantasy, because we have elves and dwarves and like the typical high fantasy stuff, creatures and that kind of a thing, but it's set in like a pocket dimension in our real world, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed the first book a whole heck of a lot. I think when I first read it, I gave like 4.5 stars or something, but the 2nd book didn't really do it for me. And I don't know if that was the mood I was in, but it didn't catch me. I kind of had to force myself through it. And the dialogue was just grating to read. Truly. It's not easy flowing dialogue. People would never say these things. That kind of a dialogue, like, it's not well done. And there was a lot of moments in this where I was like, this needed an editor, because there was a lot of things that could have been taken out. Like a lot of passages, and I'm just like, that was useless to what we need. We don't know. And there was this one scene that dragged on for so long. I was like, this could have been 2 pages max. This is a middle grade. It's supposed to go quickly. The story was kind of interesting, and I did like our characters, but I ended up only giving it like 3 stars. Oh, I didn't say what the Books of Beginning was. This is the 2nd book in a like time traveling middle grade, where our 3 main characters are 3 orphans, and they are on the quest to find the Books of Beginning. These 3 books, one of them, the Atlas, which is what they find in the first book, can take them through time, and one of the siblings gets the power to go through time. Very fun. We love her. This book is the hunt for the Chronicle, which is the 2nd book, which is the Book of Life. Also like a fire-based magic. Very cool. And then the 2nd sibling gets that power. And then the 3rd book is going to be the Book of Death. So I assume that the 3rd sibling is going to get that power in that book. But yeah, it's an interesting little trilogy if you're interested in it at all. And then, of course, For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. This is a retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood, and I've found recently that fantasy books like this, like retellings, don't really do it for me. So I didn't have very high expectations going into this. Like, Other retellings that I can think of off the top of my head are probably like Naomi Novik's books. I liked Spinning Silver well enough, it just wasn't my super favorite. And then I think The Wolf and the Woodsman as well has the same like vibe, and it came out at the same time as The Wolf and as For the Wolf, and because they both have wolf in the title, I've tied them together in my head. For the Wolf, as I said, retelling where this world is like run by this ancient foretelling that if there's ever two daughters in a family, the second daughter is for the wolf. So you have to like sacrifice that daughter on her 20th birthday, I believe. It's for the Wilderwood, which is what surrounds them. So there's the first sister and the second sister, they're twins, but like by minutes. There's a second sister and she gets sacrificed at the beginning of this, and we follow her. Her name is Radaris, as she goes into the Wilderwood and to the wolf in there. And then it kind of follows that in a very interesting way. I ended up enjoying this by the end quite a bit. I really liked the ending. It was like well put together and well thought out and interesting enough that I do want to read the second book, because that recently came out. So we love to see it. We love to see me actually wanting to read sequels of series that I start, because I have a tendency to start series and never continue with them. Yes, I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars, I do believe. So the best read of the weekend, but overall kind of a middling weekend. Like the reads this weekend weren't great. Whether that is just the fact that I was reading books that I probably shouldn't have picked, or the fact that my mental state was not well, and thus my physical state was not well, because anxiety makes me feel ill. So who knows. But if you did stick around to the end of this video, please leave me, I don't know, a little sword emoji, because I read all fantasy this weekend, and every single one of them there's a sword mentioned. So leave me a little sword emoji so I know you made it to the end, and let me know if you've read anything absolutely amazing recently, because I would love to hear about your great reading adventures. But as for that, that's it for me. I totally forgot. I was gonna mention this somewhere, but I've hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and you guys are the absolute best. I could not feel happier. When I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, I had to like sit down and like do a little like, like a little quiet scream. I was so excited. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for following me on this journey of reading and sharing my books with you, and also writing and my AuthorTube stuff that I do. You guys are the best, but I just wanted to plug that in the end here, but now I'll say goodbye. I will catch you guys in another video very, very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.